What happens when a 15-year-old black girl walks onto a live TV stage, violin in hand, only to be told she doesn't belong? The lights glare, the cameras catch every cruel smirk, and a nation watches prejudice unfold in real time. But beauty meets defiance, and her short dress shimmers as she stands unbroken. Will she be silenced, or will the world finally hear her music? The microphone crackles, the crowd holds its breath, then the story begins. The lights blaze down on the studio stage, cameras rolling, millions watching at home. A hush fell when the young girl, 15, walked out holding her polished violin. Her short cream-colored dress shimmered under the spotlights, elegant yet simple, framing a face full of quiet determination. Then came the voice that sliced through the silence. "She doesn't belong here. Put that down." The host's words landed like a slap. The crowd gasped. The girl's smile faltered, but her back stayed straight. "Excuse me," she said, voice calm but sharp. He leaned closer, sneering. "We don't need token acts. This show deserves real talent." Eyes flickered away, the audience complicit in silence. Her hand tightened around the violin's neck. Cameras zoomed in, catching every second of the cruelty. The injustice was undeniable, the air suffocating. But the girl did not flinch. She whispered, almost to herself, "You'll regret those words." The bow trembled in her grip, not from fear but from rage waiting to break free. The host stepped forward, grabbing the microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen, due to some confusion, this segment is cancelled." His voice dripped authority. A ripple of unease traveled through the audience. The girl's eyes glistened, but not with tears, steel shimmered there. She raised her chin. "I was invited. I earned this stage." The host barked a laugh, short and cruel. "Earned? Sweetheart, this is prime time. Go home, practice in your neighborhood." Viewers at home felt the sting, children who looked like her shrinking deeper into their couches. The cameras lingered on her face, catching the flick of her lashes downward, the bow of her lips pressed tight, the tiny fracture of pain. For a heartbeat she looked like every dream denied by prejudice. A security guard shifted at the edge of the stage, waiting for the order. The host motioned toward him. "Escort her off." The audience stiffened. Some murmured. No one stood up. The girl drew a breath so deep it seemed to pull the oxygen from the room. "If you touch me," she said firmly, "you'll lose your job." The guard hesitated, uncertain. Power flickered, almost visible. The host sneered, mistaking her steadiness for bluff. He grabbed at her arm, trying to push her back. But she did not stumble. She planted her feet. "Don't," she said. The word cracked like thunder. The guard froze. "What are you waiting for?" the host shouted. Silence pressed in. Cameras rolled, the world watching humiliation about to explode. Then she raised her voice, clear, commanding. "Step away from me. Now." For the first time, the guard looked at her, not him. Something shifted. The host lunged again, but the guard intercepted, placing himself between them. "Sir, you need to leave the stage." The audience erupted, gasps, clapping, disbelief. The host's jaw dropped. "What? I'm the host." The guard's hand tightened on his arm. "Not anymore." The girl stood tall, violin in hand, unshaken. The bow no longer trembled. She had seized the silence, and it belonged to her now. Dragged backward, the host sputtered, "This is my show." The guard didn't answer. No one did. Cameras stayed fixed on the girl, not him. She lowered her violin to her shoulder, and the hall froze. Her fingers moved with confidence, her bow sweeping across strings. The first note burst like sunlight through storm clouds. Each sound was defiance, each chord a refusal to vanish. People leaned forward, eyes wide, tears forming. The injustice that had suffocated the air only moments ago dissolved, replaced by awe. Even those who had turned away now leaned in, ashamed but spellbound. The melody climbed, fierce, triumphant. She did not need to shout. She did not need to explain. She only needed to play. The last note hung in the air, ringing like a verdict. Then silence. Not a single cough, not a whisper. And then the eruption, cheers, stomping, clapping, as if the studio itself had been shaken awake. The girl lowered her violin, face glowing, no trace of fear. The guard still stood near, but now his stance was protective, deferential. He knew, as did everyone in that room, that the stage belonged to her. What the host had tried to steal became her crown. Across the country, young viewers saw themselves in her courage. Adults saw the lie of prejudice cracked open live on their screens. One act of cruelty had become the stage for justice. She gave a small bow, graceful and unbroken. "Thank you," she said simply. And as the applause swelled, she smiled, not for the cameras, not for revenge, but for every child who would dare to step forward next. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe for more stories.